On a rainy and windy February morning, I got up at 2:30 and made my way across the south of England to Cornwall. I was under absolutely no illusion it was going to be a poor weather week, but it being the only chance I had to explore this wonderful area, well, I just have to adapt.
Yep, definitely time to get my camera out. It's just off high tide, the rain appears to be easing a little bit, and well, not going to get a sunrise, so may as well crack on.
So crack on I did, making my way very carefully over some rather slippery rocks. On this visit, surely I was going to get something that I could be vaguely pleased with.
Oh my god.
So I'd visited previously.
I don't think I... Whoa. Okay, let me show you what I'm oh my godding at.
Where I had my own foam party. No, couldn't shoot this. I tried a few days later, in the rain, but no. But this time, my darlings, I was full of hope. I had high tide, I had dramatic skies. What more could a girl ask for?
Oh my god. I am here at Trebarwith Strand to try and capture either some great wave movement or a long exposure, not really sure at the moment, at this glorious sunrise. It's a sunset location, I knew what I was getting into. And yes, every fifth wave or so is a little bit roguey, so I need to just make sure that I'm not putting myself in danger, because that would be ridiculously stupid. Right, my assessment. As you can see, we've got this rock that's going out into the foreground, and either side I've got the sea coming in. At the moment it's not too choppy, but every now and then, like this one here, so she's being prepared to move back, you get a corker of a biggie. Do I need to move back?
Trust me, it looks a lot bigger when you're standing there.
No, we're okay. Now whatever happens, I'm dumping my kit way up here, because I am the only person here. My husband has fallen asleep in the van because we left our home at 2:30 a.m. and well, I'm the only really keen one I think here. All a bit sketchy at times this. So I'm just inching my way forward, but I'm just making sure that I'm very aware of what on earth is going on behind me. Luckily, this acts as a camera, so I can see what's going on there as well. I'm currently shooting at 0.8 of a second, in part because it's raining. I have to keep wiping the front of my lens. Luckily, the rain's coming towards me, so it's not too bad. I've got my remote so that I can hopefully time it with a big old crashing wave, because every now and then, and it does look foreboding when they come straight at you, a wave will come up and just splosh beautifully either side. It's rather like an amphitheatre, and just when you think it is safe to inch forwards, I tell you, a big old jobby comes in. Not just one, but two or three at times. Exciting, but I've had to retreat many times. Grab your kit and run. I think I have actually caught some terrific wave action on this. It may not be in photos, it may actually just be on video, I'm not really sure. It's raining a bit more than a drizzle, but I am getting a bit wet and chilly now. But I think I may have some stuff that's really quite exciting.
Golly, that tide doesn't half retreat fast, but there's one happy girl.
This is terrific. Terrific. I'm getting everything from about 0.4 to 0.4 of a second to 6 seconds, and the contrast is really lovely. The drawing out of the waves as they go out, spot on.
Eventually the tide went out so much that the waves stopped crashing on either side, and that strand became a bit too dominant for my liking. So, time to seek a different composition. Anything green, by the way, is rather slippery, but this, it worked rather well. Before I left, I thought I'd have a play with a 20-second exposure. I like the sky, but surely the whole point of being somewhere in bonkers weather is to catch, well, the bonkersness. Even if it does mean you've got to grab your kit and run every now and then. God, it's exciting.
Oh, crikey, that was fun. A few things. When you're in a place like this, you don't turn your back in the waves. You have lots of damp cloths. You make sure your tripod's level, and you make sure you've got an escape route, because there are a couple of times I had to do a bit of a run. Yeah, I think I've got a few crackers though. God, I hope I have.
So it was off to warm up at the conveniently placed pub up on the hill before we drove half an hour westwards to our next destination. I'd just like to interject briefly. I have 2 tripods. The first is my iFootage travel tripod. The second is my beast, my Benro, which you've just seen me use in that first location. Due to the duration of the walk at this next location, I decided that it would be wise for me to take this tripod. I therefore, because of the wind, had to make quite a few adaptations. We are on our way on the Drigte to a place called the Rumps, a name that gives me rather too much joy. And I've just seen where the Southwest Coastal Path goes, so there's going to be a good bit of panting. Don't worry, I'm not going to put you through all that mess. And a mess it was. Now I know, to a lot of people I know, this weather is really not what they want when they come away, but for me it suits the venue, it's rugged, it's quite exciting. It also means that I don't have to fight lots of kind of contrast, and that makes my job a little bit easier. The thing is though, I'm going to have to make sure that I try and get something interesting in the foreground, because there's nothing gorgeous happening up there. Anyway, crack on. I was really struck by the vastness and the expanse of this beach, and also those beautiful tones encompassing blues, greys and apricots. This scene behind me is lovely, but it's not a photo. What I'm liking is the reflections of the people in the sand, the lovely wetness of that sand as well, but it's just too wide. It's one of those ones that looks great on a video when I'm taking it on my phone, but it absolutely does not translate into a picture. So walking away, I suspect I'm going to do a lot of that walking away today. And of course, every time you go down, you got to go back up again. The area known as the Rumps is a headland that is protruding out into the sea with a connective bit of land which is quite narrow. It's quite distinctive, and there's a couple of classic shots, all of which have this in front of it. Oh, they say, use the path as a leading line. I don't think I'm going to do that when I get there. It's naught but mud. Because what I didn't realise at this point was the fact that we'd gone the long way round. But if I hadn't, I wouldn't have seen this little lovely scene. Seen that cloud? Is that a problem? Only for the monstrous wind over this hill. There are the Rumps. Looks like a dinosaur back. Okay, so I've got the foreground here, which I'll show you in a moment through here. I've got the dinosaur, or the Rumps. I've also got that really dramatic cloud up there. And that, I think, is, yeah, it's a fundamental part of this composition for today. It's quite windy, bought the wrong tripod, needed a really one I could go in with, but fast shutter speed, we'll work it out. We even had some light, just for a moment. We gradually made our way along the coastal path towards the Rumps, with me stopping every 10 metres going, oh, look at this. I want to try and get them. There's 2 tiny people in there, so they're giving it some scale. I've got to move quite fast. Well, I'm guessing they provide a sense of scale if you have a magnifying glass. They're here. Honestly, let me show you. And they've even got a little doggy. Good boy.
Do you think we'll get back to the car before dark? Because we've only got about 5 hours.
Cheeky. And to be fair to him, he does have a point. I do keep stopping and going, oh, just one more. This is where I'm a right old pain to be with. Although I won't admit that to him. I'm a delight to be with. Oh, go on then. Just one more. I suspect that this location might in fact be more impressive to visit than it is to photograph, but it is still lovely. And actually the topography is rather sort of Irish-esque in my mind. Lovely. There's no doubt that because of my choice of tripod at this location, I had to make some very interesting adaptations. And what you didn't see was me hunched up on the floor getting as low as possible, or shielding my raised tripod with my coat and body. Although not in love with any of the photos from this session, the one on the left here, that does make me smile. Well, thank you for joining me today in a windy but lovely Cornwall. Wherever I'm next time, I look forward to taking you with me. Have a cracker.